Okay, good morning everyone. We are getting ready to leave Alaska completely. Well, I say completely, we're going to stop in Hyder um, and make our way down. We're going to go out through Tok and down the Elkan and to Watson Lake, where we'll pick up the Cassiar, take that down, and either do the Coca Hauler or we'll do Fraser Canyon, end up in Hope, and down into Washington State for a wedding. So let's go do that adventure, huh?
Let's go.
Okie dokie. We left Valdez this morning. It's about 3 o'clock. We stopped at the Tesoro in Tok. The Tesoro, we spent $250 on diesel, but we got a free car wash out of it. We washed both the Toad and the RV. I think this is like the second or third time I've had a chance to wash it since we've been on the road. Sure is pretty looking when it's clean. Now let's go see if we can find a campground tonight here in Tok. Okay, that's it. We're getting ready to cross the border, and I am unarmed until we get down to Washington State. We're here in Tok. There's the Elkan right there. Gonna start heading that away. So back on down the Elkan. Well, we made it through customs. We are now back in the Yukon territory. We'll be in Canada for about a week and a half as we work our way down to Washington for a wedding. So we're slowly working our way back down the Elkan. As always on the Elkan, pilot cars, four-wheel drive roads that you got to drive your RV over. We are just north of Destruction Bay, still in the Yukon territory. Alrighty. We are somewhere in the Yukon territory. We're on the Elkan at the river called Donjuk, D-O-N-J-E-K or something like that. Found a really cool pullout right on the river. There's a couple other people here, so I feel quite safe with other people. Lots of mountains. Just a beautiful little place. Oh look, there's snow on those mountains way out there. Quite beautiful. Alright, one more short little video of our home for the night. We are 209 miles from Whitehorse, 48 miles from Destruction Bay, on the Elkan, somewhere in the middle of the Yukon territory.
Yes, we are.
There's our house. Oh, and there's Angel.
Hi.
Hi. Well, this is not fun. The truck is here at the shop. What happened is the base plate on the front right, or the passenger side, where it bolts in, this guy right down here, where that bolts into the frame, the bolts are still there, but we hit bumps so bad in the bouncing, even though I tried to slow down, it actually ripped the metal of the frame rail that slides into. So we're here at Tamarack Welding, and he's gonna tomorrow morning take it apart, weld that frame back together, and get us back on the road. Meanwhile, we're gonna go stay at High Country here in Whitehorse for a couple of days. Well, I didn't get any pictures of the before, but here's a couple pictures of the after, where he straightened it out and welded it up, and then also welded on extra plates of steel to try and reinforce it. We had no problem getting home from this point, but we did have to drive separately for 209 miles.
Okay, so I'm behind Bob because we bent or cracked something on the tow bar. So I'm driving, but look at all the beautiful fall colors. We are in Destruction Bay. You can see the lake and the creeks, and it is beautiful. bright yellow fall colors. So pretty. So pretty, so pretty.
So we left Whitehorse this morning. The weld job of the frame holding the blue ox seemed to have held very, very well. I'm very pleased with it. We found a little boondocking spot here on the side of the Cassiar Highway. We're on the Cassiar Highway, probably about 40 miles from Watson Lake inside of British Columbia. And this is how much traffic is on the Cassiar Highway. While we're eating dinner, I think we went like 30 minutes without even hearing a car come by. But there's the Cassiar Highway. What do you think, Ange?
Yeah, there's not a lot of traffic out here.
We just went for a little walk around there, but the woods looks very inviting, but Angel's kind of worried about it. I don't have any guns with me because we're in Canada. All I have is bear spray, so
We're not going in the woods.
she's not letting me go in the woods. But there's the Cassiar Highway, and there's our boondocking spot for the night. We just had salmon for dinner, by the way.
Yummy salmon, silver salmon. Ho-ho.
All right, next stop about 200, 300 miles down the road, and then after that, Stuart Hyder. So we're coming down to Cassiar, and of course you have to stop at Jade City. And there is the Jade store. We, by the way, got stuck behind a caravan coming down. But here's the Jade store, Jade City. Look at the size of that chunk of jade. That's pretty big, Ange.
Pretty big.
So we are just south of Jade City, driving the Cassiar Highway. Not a soul out here. Kind of like it. We did have a bunch of caravan people back there at the Jade City, but out here actually moving along, we're alone. I kind of like it. So it may be desolate, but it's beautiful. All right, we're still cruising down to Cassiar. This is day 3 without cell service. Heading down to Cassiar. This is called Edintinjon Lake or something like that. I have no idea. It's a little breezy, but it's an absolutely beautiful lake, crystal clear, in the middle of the mountains. Oh, by the way, it also happens to be a boondocking spot. So we're boondocking on the lake with picnic tables. Gotta love it. Okay, we are set up in Stuart, BC, and we are currently on our way over to Hyder, Alaska. The two towns are right next to each other. We're going to the fish viewing platform to buy our $10 3-day pass, and bear viewing platform, I guess. But we got to cross into Alaska, the United States, to do that, and then we got to come back to the RV, and we're going to be doing that back and forth every day for the next 3 days. So, kind of excited to be here. We've been here before. We've seen the bear there at Fish Creek Observatory. It's really kind of cool. So, let's run back on over to the United States again for a few minutes. There is no customs to get into Alaska. There is customs to get back into Canada. So, boom. We're now in the United States again. That's simple. Just drove. And this is all of downtown Hyder. Not much here. Okay, we made it to the Fish Creek Wildlife Observation Site. It is part of the National Forest, and the National Park Card does not work. It is $11 a day, or $21 for 3 days per person. We opted for the 3 days because we're here in Stuart for 3 days. So we just bought our tickets. We're getting ready to go in. All right, so once you come through the gate, there's a boardwalk that you walk along. They tell us to be really quiet, not to chase the bears away. I don't know if you can see all those fish down there in that river. All kinds of fish, and they're saying they are the pinks and dogs.
And chum.
Chum, which is a dog.
Yeah, the chums are the big ones.
Yep. So lots and lots of fishies. And here's the platform you walk out for watching the bear, which they just said there's no bear here right now, but we'll go see anyhow. I'm gonna guess the spawning process has been going on for a while. There's a lot of dead fish down there. And look, you can, I don't know if you can see it. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Do you see all that pink right there and there? Those look like eggs to me. Okay, so we just had dinner here in Stewart. Really good Mexican restaurant, kind of pricey, but good. And we are behind the visitor center. That's the visitor center. And they have a boardwalk that goes out over the bay. So we're going to go for a short little walk and walk off our dinner. So out there's the bay. This is the estuary, they call it. That's the boardwalk where we just came. But we have got mountains on both sides of us as we walk along this boardwalk. And the other side of that ridge, by the way, is Hyder, Alaska. No cell service over there, by the way. Cell service in Stewart, none in Hyder. So that was a little enjoyable after dinner walk.
Yes.
All the way to the end of the boardwalk and back was what, 0.8 of a mile?
Yes.
So, but it's boardwalk. I know it was out there. You can see waterfalls, you can see glaciers.
It was beautiful.
It's all good.
Yes.
Okay, here is all of Stewart, BC. There's the grocery store. And there's the visitor center right up there. And that's about it. There ain't much more to Stewart than that, just a little bit bigger than Hyder. Okay, I talked to the ranger, got a little educated. The flipping of the tails you see are the females moving rocks trying to make a nest. And she'll start that after she finds a mate, and they will work on the nest. Once she's comfortable with the nest, she will lay her eggs. He will inseminate the eggs. He will move on and see if he can find someone else. It usually doesn't work. But she will sit on that nest to protect those eggs until she dies. So all the flipping you're seeing is just the females moving rocks to make a place to lay the eggs. Meanwhile, there's no bears here. I don't know how she managed it, but Angel got me here at 6 a.m. hoping to see a bear. That's kind of early. It's interesting, there's a whole bunch of other people already here. But no bear yet. Lots and lots of dead fish, which tells me the bear are probably full and don't need to come here. Okay, here we go again from Canada back into the United States, from Stewart over to Hyder. We did this at 6 o'clock this morning to go see bear, which we didn't see any. But there is the customs for Canada, and we drive along here, no customs to come back into the United States, and boom, we're back in Alaska. We're on our way to Salmon Glacier. So hopefully that's going to be just as beautiful as it was last time we saw it back in 19. So let's go to Salmon Glacier. Okay, here's all the warning signs. No large motorhomes or trailers beyond this place. Heavy trucks must call all points as they come in, and the pavement goes away. We've got 29 miles to go, and GPS says it'll take us over an hour to get that 29 miles. So let's go see the Salmon Glacier. Alright, we just passed Premier Mine. This is an active mining road. There's an active mine here. And the road itself is getting pretty rough. And we just passed a Class A. I can't believe there was a Class A up here. I'm trying to come back down. But anyhow, we're getting past the mine, and working our way up. Look at the dust. Fun, fun. All right, we're still working our way up. There's a real cool emerald pothole down there. That's kind of cool. No silt in there from the glacier. We're still working our way up. We're not quite up to the top yet, but you can actually see part of the terminus from the Salmon Glacier. We're going to go all the way up where it's coming down from up there. But this is really cool. I remember this from last time we were here. Okay, we made it to the top. And why is it so important to the top? Because it's the only place I know where you can drive above a glacier. Now the coolest thing about this glacier is it comes down and it goes in two different directions. This is Salmon Glacier. We were here back in 19 and now we're here again. Angel, we made it to the top. That is Salmon Glacier.
Yes, it is.
That is cool.
Very cool.
That is, and there's bugs up here. Last time we were here, it was cold, wet, and rainy, and we were the only ones up here.
Yes, it's
So,
true.
Anyhow, that's Salmon Glacier. We're going to stick around, have snacks and lunch a little bit, and before we drive back down.
Yes.
Okay, I climbed out a little bit. Kind of scary. It's kind of straight down. But here you can see where it hits a big giant granite wall and goes in two different directions. It's the only place I know that a glacier does that, but I'm sure it happens elsewhere. He's chasing fish. I'm going to try and get closer yet. So while we were watching the grizzlies play fight, look what showed up upriver a little bit. One big bear. This is pretty close. This is not zoom, this is on 1x. That's how close we are. She's down there eating bear or eating.
Well, now that was interesting. We bought a 3-day pass for the wildlife viewing area, and we've come multiple times every day. And this tonight, our last night here, we saw a black bear crossing the road on the way in.
Yes.
The 2 brown grizzlies, their 2-year-old, chasing.
There's something back there.
Hold on. Okay, sorry about that interruption. Angel heard something, ran and grabbed a ranger, and they're out there looking for the 2 brown grizzlies that we saw.
Yes.
So anyhow, we saw a total of 4.
Yes.
1 black crossing the street, the 2 brown grizzlies, which we think might be in the creek behind us, and then that big old black grizzly
Yes.
that was walking around eating the dead fish. That was cool.
That was cool.
That was cool. I have
Yes.
no idea how much video and pictures I got, but that was kind of cool. But,
Very cool. It was all very cool.
sorry about being dark, but we stayed here watching the bears for a while. Well, tomorrow morning, we head out and start heading to the lower 48. We're gonna, I think, 3-4 nights between here and getting into Washington State. So
Yes.
this was an awesome way to finish off.
Yay.
Yeah, because we're actually still in Alaska right now. We're in
Yes,
Hyder, Alaska.
yes, we are.
So anyhow,
Okay.
we're going to head back to the RV and start loading up and getting ready to head out tomorrow.
Okay. Yes, let's go.
So we're coming into Fraser Canyon. The Coca-Cola is closed due to wildfires, so we had no choice but to go down through Fraser Canyon along the Fraser River. It's an absolutely beautiful drive. Very twisty, sharp curves, steep hills, but it's gorgeous, even when it's all smoky like this, which, by the way, is why the Coca-Cola is closed, because there's a fire over there. But that right there is the Thompson River. we're not into alongside the Fraser yet. So anyhow, enjoy the ride with us.
Okay, so we're beginning our truck through the Fraser Canyon, which this is a very mild part of it. We'll share more with you as we're up in the clouds, so to speak, and hanging off the side of a cliff, and the Fraser River is very far down there. We're over here doing this road because the Coquihalla is closed, because as you can see it's very hazy and smoky. That's because they're having wildfires up here right now, so we're having to do the Fraser Canyon even though we wanted to do the Coquihalla. Okay, we're gonna go down and under this railroad bridge. And our meters are 4.11, and this is 5.00. They do a nice job in Canada with their roads, for the most part. It is lovely. And here's a little warning up here. Highway 1 repairs. Stop traffic next 11 kilometers. Anyway, just a little taste. We will share more later. Okay, Bob is noticing how skinny this road is getting. He didn't remember it from last time. I did. I remember it being extremely skinny through the parts of the canyon. And over here on the right, we got lots of fisher people. There are salmon coming up this river. Okay, now we're getting way up here again. And they're doing road construction. So we're basically, I don't know if I can show you how far down. You can't even see the river. We are way the heck up here. This may be the place where I had Bob pull over and let me out for a minute. The first time we ever came up here. Yeah, we're way, I don't know how many feet up we are, but we're pretty far up here. And now we're going back down. And that's 50 kilometers an hour. That is not 50 miles an hour. We got a tunnel we're going to go through. So here we go. I think there's a couple more. This is China Bar Tunnel.
That was a Seneca.
This is the China Bar Tunnel. Woohoo! It's pretty long, actually. Are cool. Let's see where the light is. Is it there? Is it there? It is. There's the light at the end of the tunnel. Back out into the canyon. Beautiful. Okay, we are coming up on Hell's Gate, which is the narrowest part of the Fraser Canyon. This is a really fun little tram ride over to the other side. We've done it before, so we're not going to do it this time. But it's really fun and well worth it. And it is super, super narrow, and that water shoots through there. It's crazy how intense it is. Anyway, super cool. If you're out here and you're going Fraser Canyon, never stopped at Hell's Gate, definitely put it on your list.
Alright, here is the Fraser River as we have finished Fraser Canyon. We're coming into Hope Beach. highway through hell. And we've seen one of his trucks. So here we are, Hope, BC. We are 62 miles from our KOA in Washington State, so we're probably about 50 miles or less from entering back into the lower 48. So, on our way home. Welcome to Sumas, Washington. We're back in the lower 48. We left the lower 48 back on, I think it was May 10th.
Yep.
So we're back in the lower 48, going through customs with a piece of cake, where you're from, any fruits and vegetables, that was about it. So all is good, and welcome back to the lower 48, Angel.
Yay. Boo. Yay.
All right, well, we're all set up at the KOA here in Bellingham, but I just picked my gun back up. So I've been without a gun for about 8-9 days, but I've got my gun back. Yay. Well, welcome to the lower 48. Yay. That's the first time we've been in the lower 48 since we left the lower 48, I think May 10th.
Yes.
May 10th is when we left the lower 48. And it is September 8th right now.
Yes.
So we've been out of the lower 48 for a while. So that's Puget Sound you see behind us. We're up here in the Bellingham area for a wedding, and we're gonna work our way home from here. So just thought we would stop and say hi and welcome to the lower 48. We're just gonna do a couple of small hikes while we wait for the wedding to start, and then we're gonna work our way home. We haven't figured out if we're going to Middle Road or North Road yet, so we'll let you all know when we figure it out.
Exactly.